Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for yet another match of the Champions Cup. This one is huge. The semi-final, the first of two. And this matchup is going to be Leinster taking on Toulouse. Now, last week, Leinster, they were able to beat Leicester. Toulouse, their journey to this game was a little bit longer as they had to go through 100 minutes of rugby and a few kicks at goal to be able to make their way through for this semi-final. But it is going to be a tough challenge now. We're playing at the Aviva for this game, and Leicester, they are nowhere to be seen. No Munster anymore in this tournament, I should say. And also, we do know that Lyon have been able to go on in the Challenge Cup up against the Wasps as the other fixture that has just taken place. But I hope you guys are all doing well. We have got Matt in the chat and also Novmum and Richard. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you're all excited for this matchup as we are only moments away from the kickoff. Looking through at both of these sides in this game, first of all, we will look at Leinster, and they're going to be as follows: Andrew Porter, Ronan Gallagher, and Tyke Furlong. They are the front row. Then Ross Maloney and James Ryan slotting in as 4-5. Caelan Doris, Josh Van den Fleur, and Jack Conan as the loose forward trio. Then Jameson Gibson Park does slot in at number 9. Johnny Sexton, the very experienced veteran, will be there at number 10. James Lowe out on the left wing. Robbie Henshaw, Gary Ringrose, Jimmy O'Brien, and Hugo Keenan. That is the starting lineup for Leinster, the home side. Now looking through at Toulouse, it will be Cyril Bay, Julio Marchand, and also Alda Gegri. I think I said that wrong, but he is in the front row. And then Rory Arnold and also Mirfo, who put in a massive shot on Conor Murray last week. Elstad is there at number 6, Cruz at number 7, and then Anthony Geelong will be slotting in at number 8. Looking through, we have got, this will be an interesting game from Carl. It certainly should be. And like they were saying, between these two sides, they have got plenty of Champions Cups in the cupboard for both of these teams, in the trophy cabinet, that is. And they'll be looking forward to trying to create another one. Whoever wins this game will go on to face the winner of Racing 92 up against La Rochelle. In fact, that is a complete lie. I believe the next game is going to be La Rochelle. No, it is. I think that is the game, isn't it? The other semi-final that is taking place. I don't even know if I've got that completely correct. The reason being is because, unfortunately, they've decided that they may not even show that game here in New Zealand, which is a little bit rough. But hopefully they do, and we will be doing the commentary. Toulouse will win this one. Another penalty shootout, says Carl. I'll tell you what, my heart wouldn't be able to take another one after last week. We have got Antoine Dupont at number 9. Then it is Roman Intermac slotting in at number 10. Back from suspension out on the wing, they have said Juan Cruz Malia going to be slotting in there. Then also Thomas Ramos, Fuziak, Aki, and also Lebel. That is the rest of the back line. Looking through the benches, some very good players. They're going to back Leinster because a Kiwi is playing, says Novmum. So is that Jameson Gibson Park or James Lowe? Out of curiosity, because I feel like they both have those Kiwi ties, don't they? A little bit. But we could also be talking about maybe Michael Alalato. He spent quite a bit of time in New Zealand playing for the Crusaders. He will be coming off the bench alongside Pietro Malvaca for the Toulouse side. But that is a massive cup, and both of these sides would love to be able to get their hands on it. But Toulouse, they will be making their way out onto the field. Now, interesting kit by the looks of it for Toulouse. There is the strip down the middle with black, white, and black. And I feel like that must be symbolic of something. Is it just the Nike logo? It might actually just be because of the Nike logo. I thought it was going to be something special. Isn't James Lowe Irish? And in there says Carl Peterson with the little quotations. And there's, he plays for Ireland at this stage, and he has had some very good games as of late, James Lowe, and will be something like as in on that part. But I think it is just the way that the kit is designed. But Leinster, they will be wearing that kind of, I guess, navy blue and gold, and the crowd are absolutely behind them for this game. Last week, Munster did take on Toulouse at this exact ground. That was when we got to see the penalty shootout, one of the longest games of rugby I have ever witnessed. And this game, the intensity is going to be there for the full 80. Something that did happen in that Leinster versus Leicester game was Leinster had a phenomenal start, but then Leicester started fighting back a little bit near the end of that game. Whereas Toulouse, they were actually the team that were behind near the end of the game. And then from there, it was the fight back that got them to golden point. Then golden point, neither side scored. So then from there, they kept on going. They took a few kicks at goal. And then in the end, Dupont and Intermac were the two players who were able to keep those kicks going over. In fact, it might have been Thomas Ramos who also got involved in the kicking department. But currently now, the two sides are lining up. And this is going to be an epic matchup and one that a lot of these guys, I mean, they would have dreamed about being in a semi-final. It's going to be massive for them. La Rochelle, I mean, we look at the dream start that they had to last year's Champions Cup, and now they have got another opportunity here for their game tomorrow against Racing 92. Two French sides going head-to-head, so only one side outside of France are in the semi-finals, and Leinster will want to continue that legacy of the Irish rugby, and they will want to keep on going for it, make their way all the way to the final. They did miss out last year to La Rochelle, so for me, that's unfinished business, and they will want to redeem themselves in that game taking place in only a few weeks' time. We have got Hey Howdy Hey Y'all Go Leinster. So there's Katie Dixon there as well. And I think we have got a few more Leinster supporters than Toulouse supporters, if I'm not wrong. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think will be able to get the first try? Katie's cousin, Carl Dixon, in charge of this one. I'm going to be ready to go for this matchup. Antoine Dupont, that man is sensational. World Rugby Player of the Year. He will be prominent throughout this game. But the thing that Leinster need to make sure that they do is shut him down early, or else as soon as you let him start rolling, he's going to keep on rolling all the way to a final. But it's been kicked off by Leinster, going from left to right. And this game taken nicely. It was a tough take for Cruz, but he has been able to drag it down just outside of their own 22 now. They will not be able to kick this out on the full, but Dupont does get plenty of distance on it and kicks it close to the touchline, taken nicely by Hugo Keenan, a fullback for Leinster. Going to be running straight at the line, and there was actually a penalty and a yellow card to Rory Arnold last week, so that is something that he will try and avoid in this game, I would think. Now going out the back line, Sexton, and something that Leinster love is a crisp backline movement, and they often do it very precisely in Cuzzy Carl. And there's Katie, and also go on Leinster, says Mayhem. Only 43 metres out. Sexton passes a back, bit of rush defence on him, linking up in the midfield. It's actually Hugo Keenan joining the line for Leinster, making his way away from his fullback role. Now James Lowe sees the space in behind and does put through a grubber. It's going to be sitting up for Thomas Ramos. He was hoping that maybe it was going to make its way into the in-goal area, but instead has to kick it into touch. He gives a round of applause. Who is the round of applause for? I think that was a round of applause for Leinster. No? I don't know. He's clapping Thomas Ramos, and now he looks very confused. It's as if he went through all 7 stages of emotion all in just the one little moment. But now he's not too happy with where that line out has been given by the looks of it. And it's going to be a free kick to Leinster there. And also, is it your cousin Katie? Not quite. Same last name, maybe a distant relative. We are yet to find out, but we hope it is, I guess you could say. But now the scrum will be the first one of this match, currently a minute and a half in. So plenty of time for these two front rows to get to know each other. It's going to be Porter, also Ronan Gallagher, and then Tyke Furlong for Leinster. Then for Toulouse, they've got 3 big men themselves. William Marchand slotting in the middle. Then it is Cyril Bay, and then also Al De Gigri. And are you showing footage, says Mary Rose. Sadly, due to licensing, if we show any match footage or audio, they take us straight off YouTube and ban us for 3 months. So I do apologise about not being able to show it, but I do recommend the Champions Cup YouTube channel. After the match is over, they will have all the highlights of this matchup. So that is your best bet if you do want to see any of the highlights of it and everything along those lines going into the second semi-final. And also this one should be, I mean, this for me feels like a final. I said it last week between Munster and it was also Toulouse, but this one now feels even closer to the final. They've got the advantage now for Leinster. Inside ball from Johnny Sexton, gives it off to Jameson Gibson Park. Now Furlong plays halfback. Off into the hands of the big man, James Ryan, at number 5. And also we've got that, friend channel gets banned. Says KD in there, and we always got the lol. And now we got a lot of Leinster supporters. A lot of people love this Irish side, and they are looking to get themselves their first try. Johnny Sexton sells the dummy. Good low tack on him by the number 12, Arkey. He's used to playing alongside Arkey, but just different one. Normally it would be Bundy Arkey in the midfield for Ireland. And those two have built quite a bit of chemistry together. Gary Ringrose tries to cut off the left boot. He hasn't been able to get over. Josh Finn and Fleur attack and run from that youngster, and he has been impressive. It's another advantage against the Toulouse side, so they need to make sure that they do not get themselves penalised. That looked like maybe playing the ball on the ground. He's lucky to get away with that one, but now backline, it's gone out into the hands of Timmy O'Brien. Oh, he's just short by about a metre or so, and now Johnny Sexton has had his legs taken out from underneath him by Cruz, who is still holding him down at this stage. Johnny Sexton, he is not really having too much fun. He's been kicked by Cruz as well in the process. And now a nice pop pull from Jack O'Brien. In fact, it was Ronan Gallagher. Ball's still available. And that's about 4 advantages. That's going to be going back for the penalty. Double blow of the whistle from the referee, and the ball's kicked away from Toulouse just in the process. This is going to be risky for them. Okay. 3 different, 2 offside is the comment from the referee. So they really need to make sure that they keep that discipline going for Toulouse, or else they could end up in the bin in the next little while. We have us pouring some whiskey and getting ready to braai some ribs and chicken. Cheers, guys. Geez, that sounds all right, doesn't it? I didn't actually end up having really anything big as a snack after that last live stream. So I'll probably end up having my tea at like 4 a.m. after this match, but I won't be able to sleep because I would have loved this match up too much. But I do see that one of the Challenge Cup games have taken place. The other one, Saracens versus Toulon, that is a little bit later on, but sadly in New Zealand, they haven't got that game. And also my cat has my cats have the 2 a.m. zoomies. And there says, my cat, he surprised me the other day. He actually ran, and we hadn't seen him run for like a good few months, just because he's about 17 or 18. And he just started running down the hallway, and everyone kind of looked at him going, is he all right? But he was just in a hurry to get somewhere. Okay, they are taking on the shot for Leinster now. Johnny Sexton, normally pretty consistent with the goal kicking. I think they're just having a bit of a chat there, Leinster, possibly discussing whether or not was there a chance that they should have gone for the scrum there. But Johnny Sexton says, nah, we're taking on the 3. We're getting on the board, because at the end of the day, every point is crucial in a semi-final. You want to have that early momentum. And for me, Leinster have taken that straight away with those extra penalties going against Toulouse, the away side. But the big thing is, if 2 French sides make it through to the final, this game for the final, it is actually going to be in France anyway. So I feel like that's pretty perfect for them. But they will be in hostile territory if they do make their way over to France for Leinster. But that will be exactly what they aim to do. It is 3-0 now in favour of Irish side Leinster. I do like to clarify where these sides are from, and also the competition occasionally. And also, damn, age has caught up to Johnny Sexton there, says Carl. I mean, at the end of the day, the man is a lot older than a lot of the players out there. So he's still doing pretty well. I actually got the question earlier on, who would I have, Johnny Sexton or Joey Carberry, in the Rugby World Cup as my fly half? And at the moment of form, you'd have to say Sexton's looking pretty good. Carberry's doing very decently for himself as well, but just with that extra experience, of course, a lot can change in the time to the World Cup. James Lowe having to clean that one up just about 15 metres out from his own line. And also we have got there, big love everyone. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And also we've got there, we totted. And there, said, how are you doing, Hamish? Doing very well. For a game that started at 2 a.m., I'm very awake. But I think it's just because I've been looking forward to this game ever since I knew it was happening. It's a big kick from Jameson Gibson Park. Hasn't found touchdown. And instead, Thomas Ramos has been able to take it now, giving it off to the hands of Matthias Lebel. He played very well last week to get himself a couple tries. That's a loose ball, double knock on, was it? No, it's gone backwards from Leinster. So now they've got the attacking opportunities. Wide sling out pass from Tyke Furlong. Now nice step on the inside. That is poor defence from Toulouse. Great stepping from Hugo Keenan. And now only 15 metres out from the line. It is going to be going to the short side. Jameson Gibson Park went for the grubber and it didn't quite work out. And instead, Dupont, there is no one who is going to catch the number 1 player in World Rugby. According to the award, of course, he did end up getting himself the Player of the Year, and that is going to be the first try of the match. And Antoine Dupont, rugby's a harsh game. And also the Irish flag from McNair Carberry, still a bit green in terms of experience. And Dupont and Golden Joel gets the try. And this is Katie, and also we have got the hi from an Irish guy living in Switzerland. Says Karma Peach, so I assume you are back in Leinster for this match. The thing is, it was such a brilliant run from Hugo Keenan, and then one mistake, just one, from Jameson Gibson Park to go for the grubber. It hit the leg of Dupont, and then from there he picks it up and he's gone. And once again, thanks again for the live stream. Even though I live in Leinster, I can't watch the match right now, so your commentary is just as enjoyable, says username. See, that's a shame that they don't allow you to watch it. Like, it should be free to air, like, no matter where you are in the world. Like, definitely if you're, like, from the place that is playing in a match. I feel like that's harsh that they aren't showing it. But I hope you are doing well, and hope you are excited for this game. Best scrum half in the world easily. So, yes, Sebastian there as well. But now it is going to be Thomas Ramos lining up this kick for Toulouse, and this will give them a nice early lead of 7 points to 3. And that is not what the Leinster side would have wanted. But like I mentioned, it's just one little mistake. Jameson Gibson Park decided he wanted to go for that grubber. Dupont saw it early, and Love Kiwi's very fair. Says Karma Peach there as well. Yeah, at the end of the day, I think the thing that's helped us with our commentary is the fact that even if the All Blacks are playing, we don't pick favourites overall, and we try and keep the commentary rather impartial, just because of the fact that if we don't, then I always find it like if you're listening to someone talk about a side and they just hate the other side, or they very much love their own side, it is always hard for the team who are on the losing side of things who they don't like. It just is tricky. I guess you could say that was a big bump off there from, I think that was actually Mia Fu. And also this competition is like the Champions League soccer. And there says, Carl, it certainly has a matchup. Oh, I mean, they're all matchup made in heaven with the Gallagher Premiership, the URC, the top 14, all coming together in a competition that proves the best of the best in Europe, and also best scrum half in the world easily. And barbecue is up and running, says Jack. Nice one. So I feel like hopefully I have something tasty tomorrow, because I feel like I've done a lot of talking and I've talked about pizza, and now I really want pizza, but I don't think we've got any pizza. I've said pizza way too many times. It's 2 a.m. The mind is on food, and also the rugby. A lot of people with the rugby will have food now. It's holding on to that one. Ronan Kelleher goes back across to Johnny Sexton. Beautiful pass up to Caelan Doris. Tests out the step. Passes it. Oh, Hugo Keenan just took it to the mush. And now it's going to be the counter-attack once again from Toulouse, looking for the offload. It's in the hands of Lebel, who is getting wrestled towards the touchline. Good work muscling up there. Johnny Sexton has been able to help out his side, slow down the momentum. Exactly, Carlos expects, except starting from the next season, we will be able to see South African teams have a go as well. And ribs on the grill, says Carl. And also in respect for the kicker, like in Ireland, yeah. Like, I feel like there's always a few people in New Zealand who slightly ruin it, sadly, in terms of being, like, respectful of the kicker. But, like, that penalty shootout between these two sides, like, you could hear a pin drop for a lot of the games. And also Keenan, best 15 in the world. I'd have him up there. Although there are a few very good names that also would be in the running. You know, the likes of Stuart Hawke would have to be up there. You'd have to argue maybe Jamanier would keep himself up there, or someone along those lines for France. But best Irish fullback, I would say hands down. I'm trying to think of who else plays fullback, and he's had that jersey for quite a wee while, Hugo Keenan. And every time he attacks, he looks dangerous. Speaking of Hugo Keenan, he might get the ball soon out onto the wing for James, though, trying to step, keeping himself just in the field of play. Now Jameson Gibson Park goes back into the hands of Keller. It was a good shot on him by Cruz, and also it was the number 8 into this match, Anthony Geelong. Now Robbie Henshaw running sideways, trying to go through. That's a big shot. And Toulouse have some big physical forwards. I thought it was James Ryan. And as I got James Ryan hits Hugo Keenan in the face with the ball. And that's a good shot in the mid-section. I think that was Mia Fu once again. He does not go halfway with his tackles. He's about 144 kgs. He's played the halfback, though. Unfortunately, you've got to wait for him to have the ball before you're allowed to tackle him. And now it's going to be the penalty to Leinster, and they may consider just taking on the 3 once again now. Like they're saying, the Leinster coaches, they will want that ball in hand as often as physically possible. And I hope he's okay. He hit his head on Ty Furlong's knee. And there's Katie Dixon, and also Ty Furlong, best 15 in the world. The thing is, though, like, I have always wondered what it would be like seeing some forwards in the back line. You know, you see for the All Blacks, they have Dane Coles, Cody Taylor out on the wing, normally running along that side. Loose forwards, you see Josh Van den Fleur, Jack Conan running down that wing. Would we ever see a back slot in, or a forward slot in his back? I've actually made it happen on Rugby Challenge 4 before, just because I really wanted to see how it went. And unfortunately, they get outpaced the majority of the time. But I had Ofa Toinga Fassi as my fullback, and he did all right for us. Kind of. He was getting outpaced a little bit by, I think we were playing Australia. They had some quick players in the back line, mainly because they were backs, probably, now that I think about it. But 12 minutes through this game now, Johnny Sexton about to line up another kick, and he has done just that. Now the score is going to be 6-7 in favour of the home side, in favour of the away side here. And hello, Hamish Rose says, Michelle, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Hope you are excited for more Champions Cup and also Super Rugby tomorrow, 4 p.m. New Zealand time will be when the game between the Rebels and the Chiefs will be taking place. And then also tomorrow night, it is going to be the game between La Rochelle and Racing 92. I really hope that we do get to see maybe that game on New Zealand TV. It's always hard to tell because sometimes they decide that they just don't want to show us any rugby. But I'm going to have a look and see whether or not they have updated it to say, okay, it still doesn't say that it's happening in New Zealand, so hopefully it does. And also we have got as much as I hate saying it, I think Taniela Tupou just gets the edge on the best tight head prop. And then I'll tell you what, it will be interesting. But, I mean, the good news is either way that you go with Furlong or Tupou, like the other one gets to come off the bench, which I think they could be just as effective. But on Hamish, bro, sorry for morning games missed today. No worries at all, mate. It is good to see you now. And that is all that matters. Thomas Ramos, that's a great run up the middle from the number 15. Speaking of 15s, he has been going not too badly throughout this game, Thomas Ramos. And also put a picture in the Discord. Says, no, one moment. We will wait for the next stoppage and I will check it out. I did see a little tiny pop-up thing that said something about a drawing, possibly, if that is the one. And now going back to Roman Intermac. Plenty of space down the middle, but it goes straight to Johnny Sexton, who's got Jameson Gibson-Park with him, who will be chasing after this one relatively hard. I think he's realised how much in the contest he was. He decided not to go for the tackle in the air. Brilliantly done by him to pull out of that one. And now going off to the short side, it is going to be in the hands of Juan Cruz Malia. Like I mentioned, he's back from suspension. Tyke Furlong jumps on the ball, and he says, I'll be having that one, but it's taken straight back. And now it's in the hands of Toulouse, but it's going back for the penalty. Good squad for when we play Mars in the Galactic Championship. The thing is, I would try and make that on Rugby Challenge, but I feel like if I did a video on it, it would be like the clip from the podcast, how everyone gets angry because we're not talking about real rugby. And it's like... Like, we're allowed one little jokey segment, surely. But I do want to do some sort of World 15 versus someone, but I haven't worked out who they play yet. That's the big thing. You got to work out who they can play. World 15 versus second 15? World second 15, maybe? You have two massively brilliant sides and see how they end up going. But now, currently, Leinster, they have kicked that one for the corner. So they decided that this time now with that penalty, it is time to go for the possible 7. And also with back-to-back penalties down here, maybe they're thinking that they might be able to turn it into a card up against it. And James tries, says, go, I think you are a little bit ahead, so try not to have too many spoilers. Overall, but now Jameson Gibson-Park does go off into the hands of Robbie Henshaw, just short of the line. Now Jameson Gibson-Park goes back again to Tyke Furlong, who's only a few metres out from the line. Now Josh Van Den Fleur gets close. And now Jameson Gibson-Park, he goes that short side, and James Lowe does end up going over. And that will be his first try of the match up against Toulouse, and also the first try of the match for Leinster, the World Champions World 15 versus the Springboks. Oh, I mean, it would be cool, but I think the Springbok supporters would get angry because they'd be like, how can you not have us in the World 15? And also we've got this, sorry, let me not spoil it. And this says Carl, and also we've got Alice Toulouse. Says Young there, and also James Lowe. And they're from Katie Dixon, but it was a good spin from Robbie Henshaw initially getting that go forward off the back of the move. But Leinster have been rewarded with that big, massive opportunity for them to be able to turn it into the 7 or the 5 rather than ending up only getting themselves a little bit. How's it going? Says Fish, and doing very well. Excited. Nervous for both of these sides as well. In the process, I think, who was that who got tackled after giving up the ball? But James Lowe, he scores the try. And it is massive for him at the moment. Okay, they've just said that the best defensive system in the world cannot deal with that ruck speed of Leinster, and they are very impressive. And come on, Munster. Okay, Leinster, let's go, says Mary in there as well. Currently, Leinster, they will be trying to do the Irishmen proud, make their way through to that final and take out the Champions Cup. It's going to be tricky to do up against the Toulouse side, who are the defending champs. But Leinster, they'll be disappointed that they weren't there last year, as they were beaten by La Rochelle in the semi-final, I believe it was. Or was it the quarterfinal? It was one of the two. I think it might have been Exeter Chiefs versus Leinster quarterfinal, and then Leinster versus La Rochelle semi-final, maybe. Do let me know if I've got that around the right way. But now it is going to be Johnny Sexton lining up this kick. Try and add a couple more points on the board. 33 metres out should be relatively stock standard for Johnny Sexton, although he's looking into the sun, which will be slightly annoying. I'm off for a barbie. I just popped in actually sunny and warm here. Says Flishin, I feel like everyone is having a barbecue. I think you're about the 5th person we've seen who's having a barbecue of some sort, Flishin. So hopefully you do enjoy it. Enjoy the lovely weather. It's actually sunny in Ireland at the moment, I do see. And French Rugby is kicking out of European Rugby. 3 in the Champions Cup semis and 2 in the European Challenge Cup, says Connor, exactly right. And I will mention 1 through to the final of the European Challenge Cup with Leon doing very nicely for themselves. Have a good time, Flesh. And also I'm 5 seconds behind Carl. He said it just before the ball goes to James Lowe in my neck of the woods. Says Sebastian there. And also we've got the Henshaw is a great musician, Irish trad. And this is Karma Beach. I did not know that. And also Hamish French team clashes. 2 close games so far. Says Flesh, and it certainly is. Yeah, I didn't actually realize he was a talented musician, and your scoreboard is behind it. Probably is half asleep, hopefully now. Maybe, but currently ruck speed for the average is 1.5 seconds. That is massive. Ty Furlong's limping. He's going, nah, I'm all right, boys. Don't worry about me. I'm just having some ankle problems. And he doesn't look like he's going. And also we have got the flash call back to there. Because again, as long as we don't have any cancelled tries, we're all good. Because that's when they really struggle. And also we have got their take their Kia Flesh in 28 degrees. Nicely done. And also a points table, these 2 teams stand right now. Says for Chelsea, this one, it is the semi-final, which does mean that it is going to be whoever wins goes through to the final. And here we go. Says it was an off-mum. And also we have got their diagnosed, says Katie Dixon. I think he gets injured more since we started talking about him. It's that damn knee, says Katie as well. I imagined a southern accent for that one. And actually, it's a family one, and my wife and my cousin's wife can't stand each other. Right, that's going to be an interesting one. So you're going to have to probably stay distance, I guess. You just have to go from different rooms. That'll be an interesting one. Hopefully it all goes smoothly and they just kind of do the smiling for the family. And then afterwards on the car ride home, she's just like, oh, I don't like that lady. She's a very annoying one. Currently hanging on to that ball to lose out the back of their ruck, and they are trying to keep their ruck speed high as well up against this Leinster side who are averaging, like I mentioned, 1.5 seconds. That is very quick. That's pretty much you go down, ball out. And also they're going to mummify his knee in ice bags, make him do laps. So here's Katie Dixon. That ball is dropped by Toulouse, and another mistake with the handling errors, and that is something that they really cannot afford. Now it's kicked in behind, looking for the 50-22. It just stays in the field of play. Nicely taken down the wing, and now there's some space. Starting to open up for Toulouse and just wear a mask and then get drunk. Says Flesh. I guess that's another way of doing it. If the mask isn't available, just drown the sorrows in beverages. It's a good way to do it. Currently now hanging on to this ball. Toulouse have got it back, and losing Chisel and Colby is a bit of a tough one. I'm not really a fan of their fullback, says Carl. So I assume that is Thomas Ramos, the man who's just got the ball there. He might have just given away a penalty. No. They were able to keep that one just for Toulouse. Now fired back into the pocket to Roman Intermac. Just go down the middle of the field. 18 minutes into this game currently. Jamison Gizenbach gives it off to Sexton, who normally, when he's in this situation, he lurks for either the 50-22 or that high ball up. Jamison Gizenbach just not quite able to get to that ball in time. Great low tackle made, though, to lose with the loose ball. They've been able to clean it up. And that has happened many times. Like I mentioned, about 4 or 5 handling errors now both Tupo and Furlong are injured. Nipolala it is then. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. When you go to the next guy, who is that next guy? Because I'm trying to think. France, do you give it? I mean, it's probably not El Gigri Demba Bumper. No. Who would be, other than Nipolala, who else have you got as world-class tight head prop? That is the question for the class. Ladies and gentlemen, Toulouse, the counter-attack is dangerous. It is indeed. Or it was dangerous. And yeah, they do still try and go not too bad. It's normally Dupont or Intermac who set it up, though. Good hands from James Lowe down on the wing. Wrestled down by Juan Cruz Malia. Now going back. Nice bit of draw and pass. Johnny Sexton sells the dummy, the class of the veteran. Passes it off. Josh Van den Fleur pins the ears back. He is just going to roll over. And it's the try to Leinster. Brilliant work from Johnny Sexton. And also, there's a semi-final clash tonight. It certainly is a morning, afternoon. I don't know where I am or how I'm awake. Hello, Patty. Hope you're doing well, mate. And that is going to be a brilliant try for Josh Van den Fleur. Does score the try. 10th European Cup try in his 43 appearances. That's pretty impressive for a loose forward. And also, Josh Van den Fleur try. And there as well, says Katie Dixon. They'll be disappointed with that Toulouse because Johnny Sexton, he just drifts through. He was able to manipulate the body perfectly to make them think he was going to pass. And look at that veteran Johnny. The old man still has it, says Carl. He does indeed. And he is finding some very nice form as of late. And also welcome to Elon Musk Simulation. And also the Irish flag from username of Johnny Sexton. He just sells Rory Arnold the wrong way. And then Josh Van den Fleur, they're just checking to see if it was all in one momentum. And they are saying that it was. He is allowed one movement on the ground. And Van den Fleur made the most of it. Was able to get himself over the try line for the second time in this match for Leinster now. So Josh Van den Fleur, he scored. Also, the other try scorer I should mention, it was actually James Lowe, was able to score a little bit earlier on for Leinster. But now Johnny Sexton looking straight into the sun. Once again, not going to be the easiest. And also, Johnny Sexton took his blood pressure and back bills today. He's done nicely, Johnny Sexton. And it just kind of proves that more of when I was talking earlier on about who I would pick for Sexton or Carberry. And I mentioned about the fact how if he's still playing like he is here, like Johnny Sexton, I'm going him fly half every day of the week for the World Cup because he's just got that much experience and he's still got those little silky skills to get thrown in there, and he can kick a ball over the post, which is very useful. 20 points to 8 now. And also, 20 points to 7. I think that's it for Toulouse. Game over already. Don't know about that. We did see a good lead form for Leinster up against Leicester, but then unfortunately from there, it did end up a little bit of a fight back from the Leicester guys, and Van den Fleur, best 7 in the world. He's right up there. Like, if he's not best, certainly top 3. Like, he's just sensational at the moment. I love how everyone talks about Johnny Sexton as like he's some decaying corpse running around on the field, says Katie Dixon. And also, well, I'm too tired to know, says Paddy Wagon. That is going to be a little knock on once again. And this time, Jack Coney looks straight into the sun. The eyes would have been pretty much closed like this. And then you got to try and feel for the ball. Ends up putting it straight through his hands. And it is going to be the scrum feed for Toulouse inside of the 22 of Leinster. So this is where they need to fire back. If they can keep this game within, I would say within 10 at halftime, they've still got a very good chance of being able to go on to win it, as we do know that they're very good in the second half. And also, it kind of skyrockets the age average, Katie, says Sebastian. Also, if the score isn't tight after 20 minutes, I usually know who will win, says Carl. And also, we have got there, was just a joke about something earlier, says Katie there, for the Elon Musk situation and his, I guess, universe that he has created. But now Dupont passing it back across. Big fend on Johnny Sexton, bit of aggression from Dupont there. And I feel like he is not happy with the way that his team are performing just at this point in time. Rory Arnold has tried to go forward. What has happened to Richie Arnold? Does anyone know whether or not he's still injured from that injury he picked up in about round 5 of the top 14? I feel like that's a very specific question, so I don't completely expect people to know it. But if you do let me know if Richie Arnold is injured with some sort of leg injury. Now, currently, Dupont goes short side off to the right-hand side. It's going to be Cyril Bay leading with a forearm straight at. It was a Robbie Henshaw, and also Sexton is always the target for opponents. He is, but he manages to always get back up at this stage, Johnny Sexton. And at the end of the day, if they don't shut him down, like they tried to rush up on him in that situation, he sold the dummy and he was through because no one else was ready to tackle him. And they won also second semi-final, which teams are playing next match. So it is going to be Racing 92 versus La Rochelle. That is 2 a.m. tomorrow. But unfortunately, it seems like I don't actually know if it's on New Zealand TV. So hopefully it is. If it's not, I would be quite sad because I would be looking forward to that game very much. So 2 French sides going head-to-head, and it's always a battle while they're making it through to the final also. But I will say this, if I say Leinster wins, then Toulouse will win. Almost like I'm bad luck, says Carl. Right, so you may have jinxed them. Also, we have got there, he's retiring, says Jack. When is he retiring, Jack? Do let me know if he has announced it, because I know that he's still been going for a little while, but someone said earlier on that he was still going to be there maybe for the World Cup. Looks like Thomas Ramos will be lining up the 3 points here to try and get Toulouse just a little bit further back into this matchup. Get down by 10. Some deep breaths in the background taken by Cyril Bay. Been working hard in that front row for the Toulouse side, but lining it up. Strikes it nicely. Thomas Ramos, safe as houses. And that one has gone over. And now the score will be 10 to Toulouse and also 20 to Leinster. And also after the next Rugby World Cup. And there's Katie Dixon, also captain and navigates the ship. Says Karma Peach there. Exactly right. And I feel like that amount, also we've got to in mind, it's a different Richie Arnold. I just realized we were talking about Arnold rather than Sexton. Now that I realized that. Richie Arnold, what's he doing at the moment? That's the thing. Where is Richie Arnold now? Richie Arnold, Australian rugby player. 31 years of age. Have we got any information on him currently? He's had 7 matches of the top 14 this year, I believe. So that is why I think he got injured relatively early. And also asked kind of how he feels about Sexton. And are you a Nike guy or an Adidas guy? To be honest, I'm like probably neither. Like if I had to pick one for like shoes wise, if I needed shoes, which I don't normally because I stay inside, I'd probably go like Nike, I guess, but I'm pretty much like not really a brand guy, if that makes sense. Like if it works, like for footwear, like I got a pair from Kmart ages ago, and they still are good. And I feel like it's not so much because I don't want to spend the extra money for the stuff. It's just like I'm the only one who normally sees it. Although that doesn't really work now because I now wear clothes on live stream. Also, we got there Captain and Navigates the Ships, and also we have got there, we're talking about Johnny Sexton, and also the one I was talking about is on Good Morning Britain. And there says Jack Cooney, and also we have got there about asking kind of how he feels about Sexton. That's the thing. If Sexton can get them a Champions Cup, though, or a World Cup, I'm sure he will be a very impressive. Nike Air Max 1, I'm a collector of those. I will look them up because I don't even know what they look like, to be honest. Air Max 1. Yeah, I mean, they're nice shoes, but I see they're $180, and I'm like, I could get a lot of shoes and whatnot. Or I think at the moment, all my money goes straight into YouTube, so that's kind of why I probably don't have enough to buy like nice like stuff overall. And also Sexton top 10 ever for me, says Jackie. He's a brilliant player. Robbie Henshaw now trying to carve his way through a gap. It's going to bounce out the side. I think there was a little knock on the ground, but they said it came off a foot, so it is going to be play on. Now Johnny Sexton passes it off into the hands of the big man James Ryan, starting at number 5 for this matchup, I should mention. And then at number 4, they have got Ross Maloney, but that is a penalty now to Toulouse. Yes, it is. It's hard to tell sometimes with the referee, depending on what arm he does end up sticking up. And also we have got that kind of wants to chomp his bones. And there's Katie Dixon. And also we're going to give kind of 5 minutes with Sexton in the room. Then we'll see who starts as Ireland's fly half at the World Cup, and also Ireland versus England World Cup final, Sexton's last ever game. And one day I'll send you a pair, Hamish, says Carl there, and also just send your P.O. box. See, that's the thing. I don't actually have a P.O. box at this stage, but I did get sent a Chiefs kit by Johnny Blaze a while ago. But yeah, it's pretty much one of those ones that, like, at the moment, our next investment is I am getting little lapel mics at the moment. It's kind of, I guess, the next big budget that we're trying to get. And they're kind of the ones that you plug into a phone and then they just kind of are connected, because we did have, I found the box. We did have these ones. But I always go back to the story of pretty much there's a 3-meter cable on these. And George was like, we should film a video of us playing hide and seek. Like, because that seemed to be a popular thing on YouTube. So he's like, we should play hide and seek and we'll try out the microphones. And then it hit him that there's a 3-meter cable. So it's a pretty easy game of hide and seek. Like, you're just on the other side of the tree. So I've got some wireless ones that I'm slowly adding to. We've currently got 2, but I probably ideally would need 4 for all of the lads at some stage. But we currently got 2 that we're working on. And also Doug Hallett, the darling Kiwi of Munster Rugby, says Mary, and I'll tell you what, he's a brilliant player. That's Ford from Toulouse there, unfortunately for them, was a big knock on. And the French player is not too happy. He is in the midfield for Sack. So, nope, not too happy about that one. And also try, yes, says Niall Carney there. Currently, Leinster, they have done nicely in this match. A little bit of silky skillness from the point ball on the inside off to Cyril Bailly. And the Waikato pass, Geelong. Tell you what, they might have an argument there. I think they might have hit the hand of Hugo Keenan. And I don't know. I think he's saying that it did hit the arm. So I believe this will be a Toulouse line out here, more than likely. And also Sexton with the try. Says, no, is that the prediction for possibly in hide and seek? Popular only now. I've been doing that when I was a small kid, says Carl. Yeah, it is a lot of fun. Have you guys played Sardines out of curiosity? Because Sardines is a very fun game. And also, it's kind of like hide and seek, except in reverse, how you got to all hide in the same spot. And right by everyone into the Valley of Death, I go, good luck, Flesham. We've got our fingers and toes crossed for you. Hopefully it all goes smoothly. That's going to be a bit of a shaky one, Hamish. Please, people, don't spoil the action. Wait until Hamish reacts to it. Cheers as well. But currently now it is going to be a penalty to Leinster inside of their own 22. And also we have got there George from Katie Dixon there. And also try. Here's Betty William, that one's gone downfield. It's gone into touch as well. That's a nice kick. But Johnny Sexton, he has been looking impressive in the early stages of this game. Same with Robbie Henshaw. You're always going to get 110%. It's going to run it hard at the line of sardines. I know, but that is my post-workout meal, says Carl. So pretty much, I mean, I could describe it to you. Maybe you've got a group of friends who like a bit of hide and seek. We were close to playing hide and seek for Christmas lunch. And we're all like over 20, but we were like, should we just do it? But then we didn't end up doing it in the end. No one quite wanted to because, I mean, it was at our house as well, so I'd know all the spots, wouldn't I? But at this stage, I was like, I can't time out that Paddy guy. And this is Sebastian, I can. No, I wouldn't do that to Paddy. I have in the past, though. Although he did ask to have it happen, so I guess that was all right. Yeah, but pretty much sardines, the gist of it is one person hides, and then everyone else, like, is the seeker, I guess you could say. So it's pretty much if you had 6 people, one person hides in a spot, 5 people try and find them. Then when they all kind of go off to try and find them, person in the hiding spot, once someone finds them, rather than going, hey, I found you, they hide with them. And then it's 4 people left. Another one finds them, 3 people hiding. And you kind of do it like that. It's like reverse hide and seek. It's quite a lot of fun. I say that as if I've done it recently. It was probably when I was like 10 that I played it last. With the same people who we were going to play it with at Christmas. Now that's going to be kicked in behind from Roman into Mac. Just inside of the 22, which now means James Lowe can use his left boot and give it an almighty heave downfield. And also, where are you watching the game on? Says LB. It is currently, whoa, that's a brilliant kick from James Lowe. I believe that is a 50-22. And man, that man is fired up currently, and he can't even believe it. Oh, okay. So it's been given as just outside of the 22. James Lowe can't quite believe it. Oh, yes, it is. It's well done from the assistant referee there. He's keeping his calm, and also that guy says Katie Dixon, but I am watching it on Sky Sports Select here in New Zealand, or Channel 50, as it is called. The thing is, James Lowe was fired up, but I don't think it bounced into touch. So because of that, it would have ended up being, I guess, a stock standard line out for Toulouse anyway, but now firing back into the pocket to Pont. Will be kicking it for the touchline. And I was like, yeah, Paddy guy is annoying, isn't he? And there says Paddy Wigan. But now James Lowe kicks that one high. Chasing hard. It is Robbie Henshaw trying to line it up. It's an awkward one. And it is going to be going nicely. In fact, that was actually Hugo Keenan chasing after. Oh, someone's been taken off the ball. It's a penalty, and this could be more than just a penalty. Roman Intermac has gone in, cleaned him up, and Jameson gives him back. Has been smacked, and they've marched 10 as well. Geelong, I think, may have been saying a few words to the referee. Why happened here? Oh. Okay, so it was actually the big man Meafu who did end up going through. And it was unfortunate. Everyone did end up going through, and also he's going to be glaring at Christoph Ridley for the rest of the game, says Katie Dixon. I did see, was that guy in the crowd that we are talking about, Katie Dixon, the one who was going, wanker, wanker? Was it that one? Because I know that there was one guy who was chanting that, but it was literally just him all by himself. Hi, everyone. Says Yvette, welcome in. Hope you are doing well, and hope you are excited for this Toulouse game once again. Who are you backing in that game tomorrow night, Yvette, between Racing 92 and La Rochelle? Do let me know now. Howdy, Aces. Says Katie Dixon there, and also we have got there. At least I'm not annoying. And Elias says, I feel like he was saying that as in, like, rather than the other people, not as in yourself, Sebastian, though. I think. And I was like, yep, it was that guy, says Katie Dixon. Yeah, he was all by himself in the chant, but, I mean, he tried his best, which is all you can ask for, really. But now it is going to be Johnny Sexton lining up this one, and this will add a few more points onto the board for Leinster. He is 4 from 4 tonight, Johnny Sexton, reliable as, I guess, an old Nokia phone, really. Those things last for hours, they last for years, just like Johnny Sexton. Charles taking some deep breaths. He's actually mimicking what Johnny Sexton does with the deep breaths. Maybe a future fly half for Ireland. The crowd are completely silent. It always sounds weird. And also, Wenger in French is branleur. And there, that's a fancy word, isn't it? And Sexton for a turn-off for sure. Or is a turn-off for sure, says Yvette. And also, we have got that tomorrow afternoon game. It's going to be easier to watch as impartial, says Yvette. They want a good day, mate, says Mimania. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well. South Africa URC team's going to have to increase their squads now. If they're going to be in the Champions Cup, going to have to follow Leinster lead and rest players every now and then, says LB. So, yeah, I think it's going to probably take away from the Curry Cup squads a little bit. But the good news is they've got those Curry Cup squads, if that makes sense, so they can actually go for it. And it is going to all overlap, which is going to be tricky for the South African sides to juggle. But I'm looking forward to seeing how far they can make it. And also, hi, Mimania. Says Yvette there as well. Now it is going to be passed back inside of the 22 currently for Leinster. Was Caelan Doris. with a little bit of go forward. Now Jameson Gibson Park goes back to James Lowe, and he's just got a mammoth left boot. Always gets plenty of distance on it. Thomas Ramos taking that one now 40 metres out from his line, makes his way up to halfway. Hugo Keenan unable to make that initial tackle, but it's a good one in the end from the big lock in the form of, who was the number 4? Ross Maloney, I think it is, for this matchup. Now ball fired out the back. Arki gets one of his first touches with it, but it's a knock on, and Leinster will end up with another scrum feed in favour for themselves. So it's a knock on. I don't think Toulouse are really getting the rub of the green at this stage. Giving away a lot of penalties, had a lot of handling errors against them now. It was a nice pass off to Cyril Bailly initially. And they've called it all. That's harsh. And have Leinster been dominant so far, says Harry Higgins. They have been looking very strong in the early stages. Toulouse, though, they actually scored the first try of the match, so they were 7-0 up. But then from there, Leinster have done what Leinster do, and that is that precise backline, like their ruck speed. I was about to try and describe it, but average of 1.5 seconds for a ruck speed is insane. Normally, you see like 2 point something, 3, but they have just been brilliant getting that ball out as quickly as they can. Johnny Sexton now looking for the kick and behind, half by going for the 50-22, half by going for territory, and it has gone into touch there. I see MG is in the chat. Welcome in, mate. And also Toulouse will be coming out firing in the second half, or Toulouse will be coming out firing in the second half, says Mimini. And also Toulouse, if play Toulouse, says Sebastian there. It's a tongue twister and a half, isn't it? I mean, for me, as long as this game doesn't go to golden point or extra time or penalty shootout, I'll be happy. But then saying that, I kind of enjoyed the tension, but I just hated the fact that one of the sides, when it got to that stage, had to be knocked out. I guess you could say, and also poetry with the 10 out of 10. Says Katie there now. Dupont goes back to Intermac. Does put up the box kick. Well, the high kick down to the halfway line, taken nicely by James Lowe. Now the counter-attacking opportunity here for the Leinster side, and Toulouse or not Toulouse. That is the big question for this matchup. And now it is going to be Johnny Sexton going back across to Robbie Henshaw, almost going through, but he's tackled by Arnold. And it was cray-cray last week, says Yvette. It certainly was. And, like, even as a impartial person for that matchup, like, I couldn't sit still after watching that one. It was just so intense, brilliant backline. And now it's a nice run from Gary Ringrose. Gets the legs pumping, but he's dragged down by Cyril Bailly. He plays the halfback. They've got the advantage, and he makes the most of it. Wide ball out to Timmy O'Brien. They're going back, double blow the whistle, and this could be a yellow card. It is indeed. And unfortunately, once again, playing the man round the side of the breakdown, it was Mifu, and Toulouse playing stupid rugby. They are unfortunately giving away way too many penalties in the early stages, and Mifu playing the 9 for about the second or third time in this matchup. And also we've got there Toulouse will lose. And there says Carmen, it looks like Johnny Sexton will be kicking this one for the corner. So Leinster are smelling blood at the moment. I'm gone. I'm closing my eyes. Good night all. I will be listening till I sleep. If I do type, I haven't been, or if I do type, I haven't been able to sleep. Says Patty, but Miafu will be disappointed with that. Get some electrolytes, and to lose a man down, this is the beginning of the end. Says Sebastian, you cannot afford to give that man advantage. We saw what happened when Munster had that man advantage last week. It was actually not as clinical as we expected, but I mean, Leinster, they have got a beautiful set play going. Well, then, although it's gone down, it's another penalty advantage. This could be a second yellow card if they're not careful. And there, James Lowe goes back to Johnny Sexton, puts up the high kick, Juan Cruz Malia, and also it's gone down there for Timmy O'Brien. He's been wrestled down, though, and it will be going back. This is a runaway game. And there says Carl, there is a huge potential that it could be so. Fromage melting. And there says Karma Peach. Timmy O'Brien out on the wing, thought he was going to be in, or Jimmy O'Brien, in fact, sorry. Thought he was going to have a decent crack at that one. But Juan Cruz Malia holding his ground, and also that was tantalizing. And there, it was actually Ramos who was able to stop him, and he strategically grabbed the shirt afterwards to stop him from getting back up. That's those little things that normally people don't pick up on that really do help you out. And also we've done that last two matches, size, says Yvette there. And now they are going for the rolling maul. Yeah, it's a penalty, though, to Toulouse. That's brilliantly done. And I think it was offside. Geez, that's a mistake from Leinster. So rushing forward too quickly, one of the players outside of that line out did make up that 10 metres too quickly. And that's what becomes the penalty. You all have fun night. And there's Paddy, so we will see you later on, mate. Or probably tomorrow, I assume, for Rebels versus Chiefs, which we will be covering on the channel. That will be taking place at 4 p.m. New Zealand time. It shall be a very entertaining one. Then also, we are hoping to do La Rochelle versus Racing 92, but unfortunately, if they don't show the game here, I think that is going to be the trickiest side of things if we aren't able to do so. Right, but now currently it is going to be hanging on to the ball to lose with 1 minute left. They will just be trying to close out this matchup. Have a good one, brother, says Katie Dixon. Or sorry, the first half, I should mention that they will be trying to close out rather than the whole game. Because they will have to keep on working. And also, no, Paddy says and take care, Paddy. And then there from Sebastian, that one's gone up high and it's going to be taken nicely by into Mac. He's been able to grab that one. I'm quickly going like this. And like this as well. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lad Sport channel, as we are currently on the road to 1,000 over there. We're actually only 139 away. It's getting closer and closer every single day. And we have got plenty more videos going up on that channel in the very near future. But now it's going to just stay on the side of the Toulouse side here. And hanging on to it is going to be... almost stolen. That's a nice yawn for 2:47 a.m., isn't it? Ramos goes short side. And if they can get themselves a try here to lose, that will build the confidence going into that second half. Like I mentioned, also, Hamish, I remember when I told you about load shedding Curry Cup game between Western Province and the Pumas, 1 minute left, and the stadium lights went off live on TV. Geez, that would not be ideal. So I guess, luckily, I assume they had a backup generator, but that's not what you would have been wanting right near the end. But I guess the other side of it is, could they have started the game slightly earlier so it didn't happen? Type thing. And also, we have got there, you can't do anything when you're always traveling thanks English organisation tired because the Six Nation tournament's hardest championship. And of course, English refs, no, so you can try no fault in scrum, etc. And there says French baguette there as well. But I hope you are doing well currently. This is a good question. La Rochelle or Racing 92 for the other semi-final? Who are you giving it to for that matchup? Who do you think will be making it through to the final? But that is going to be halftime now. And remember when the cameras went down and no one could watch the game, you might bloody house have ever go pay your bills. So here's Sebastian there. Yeah, that one was an interesting one. We couldn't see it in New Zealand. And everyone just had to sit there in darkness pretty much and go, I think something's happening. And it came back just in time as Maxi in France or Spain. He is in Spain at this stage, although I think he wants to go to France for the Rugby World Cup, maybe some of those games. They are coming up in the near future, so maybe we get a little bit of sideline Maxi reporting. And also, normally the backup generator is activated after the lights are out, but it took 20 minutes. So did they actually have to wait for 20 minutes before being able to play on? Because I swear I saw him at the Wasps versus Leon game. Did you? I mean, to be fair, he might have made the trip. If it was it played in France? Because he made the trip for the All Blacks versus France game that took place in France. So maybe he did the same for that one. It would have been kind of cool if he did end up turning up at the game. Well, Norm Maxwell, we'll have to get him back on the channel at some stage. We'll have to do some sort of video in the near future. But that game was a very close one. And it seems to be the Challenge Cup is having a lot of close games currently. Another one that has taken place, it is Toulon versus La Rochelle. Toulon versus Saracens. That is going to be coming up in 4 hours' time. And also, yes, they had to finish the game with 1 minute left. And there says Mimania. So that was Carl. And also, we have got there, not the public's fault. Says Mimania there. And also, All Blacks versus France, Chapter 2. I swear I saw him. Yes, it was in France. And also, we have got there, he was on Lyon's side, high-fiving everyone. And I will rewatch and post the clip on Discord if it's him. Says Katie Dixon. That would be quite useful. Do you want me to message him, Katie, and ask him if he went to the game? Because I can. I have got him. I feel like I'm a bit of a gangster. I've got him on Messenger because we were emailing each other for a start, and then we realized that wasn't as quick as Messenger, so we just went to Messenger instead. Sad thing that South Africa will never host another Rugby World Cup until 2031. It's like 40 years between World Cups. Says Albie there. Yeah, that is a very long time. That is for sure. Right, I'm going to message Norm. And yeah, if you want to tell him I saw him, I'll say, by any chance, did you make a trip to France to watch Lyon versus Wasps? Someone, I'll say Katie. He'll know who you are. Katie Says she may have seen you. Says she might have seen you. There we go. See what he says. And also, I tell him I saw his doppelganger. And there says Katie Dixon. Currently, we've got highlights of Argentina versus Fiji, which is quite cool. Although that will actually be Vancouver, which means that Fiji lost that one. All right, he might not reply to me yet. It's a 50-51. I have sent it. He might even, if he was in France, he's probably traveling currently. So strategically, if he doesn't answer for a while, that's a good sign. Maybe. But currently now, it is the highlights at halftime of the Fiji Indua versus Argentina game that did take place. And also, of course, it's not the public's fault, but there are people who get paid to take care of the maintenance part around stadiums, broadcasting and such. There have been some grand mess-ups, says Sebastian there as well. Currently, anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Of course, we are going to be back for the final of the Champions Cup. It's going to be absolutely outstanding to see the two sides in action that do make their way through. It's going to be either Leinster or Toulouse, or it will be the other side of things, which will be La Rochelle or Racing 92 is the other side of things. The Kiwi Lads Sport, there we go. We will go like that. And some of you regulars, of course, you will be sick of me saying this, but anyone who hasn't already, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lads Sport. It is our second channel. Got plenty more coming up on there, and we are venturing out from just rugby over on that channel very soon. And as far as the stadium is concerned, that was unforgivable. And there says Mimania. But yeah, the last thing you want is to be like, right, guys, it's dark. We've got to wait just a little bit longer. Oh, Maxie is typing, Katie. I'm nervous. Right, he is typing. And I'll say hashtag backup power. And then URC next week, very crucial for their SA teams for Champions Cup qualification. Oh. Okay, he has said, nah, brother, I'm off to the Class AB Spain game next weekend, though. Or the Classic AB Spain game next weekend. I didn't even know that that was a game. Classic ABs versus Spain. I was like, mate, this guy on Steam keeps banging on about his sport channel. I'm fed up with it, says Sebastian. The thing is, people probably are. To be fair, I've said it many times, but it is our little side project that we got going at the moment. And we have just been we've been starting doing live streams over there, hopefully very soon. I just realized I said we've started, but we haven't started, but we're about to. So up to the Kiwi Lad Sports channel. Much appreciated, mate. And yeah, it's pretty much this channel except with a green logo, I guess is the best way of describing it. Also, thanks, Maxie, guys. Where it was to give it a look. So yeah, he wasn't there, but he did reply relatively quickly. So I feel like that's me showing my street cred. Not really. I feel like I've messaged All Blacks before about an interview and they don't reply, sadly. He was the one who actually, the weirdest part is it was actually him who messaged us like on a live stream. And I find that so incredible because normally, you'd have to message quite a few times to be able to like get people on the channel. Whereas and I'm confident anyways, you can judge for yourself how much it looks like him. I mean, if you want to send me a screenshot on Instagram of the most looking Maxi, and I'll send it to him and say, have you got a twin? And see what he says. Currently now, waiting for the second half. I hate half times. I just love the rugby, and then we have to wait like 15 minutes for half time. They've currently got a few highlights of the sevens, which is great. And also, of course, that AB street cred Hamish, says Katie Dixon. Yeah, heaps of street cred. I mean, in real life, my street cred is probably pretty low. They're like, hey, that's that guy who didn't leave the house for like 3 years doing YouTube. And why Toulouse so bad? I thought they were the best club in Europe. Unfortunately, they've given away way too many penalties and had too many handling errors early on. And thanks, Dixon referee or dickhead, says Guglielmi there. And I was going to go, hey, look, I tagged myself, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got there, I'll put it in Discord, Katie, I want to see as well, please, and to lose or to win. Or why the French not fluent? And there says it was Peter and also Paddy Wagon. I think Paddy was going to sleep before, but he must be slightly doing like that side typing, how you're just trying to smack buttons. It's the thing, like my eyes after like a whole heap of live streams, I've sat there in bed looking at the next lineups just like this. And then my arm just goes down and then I crash. And that's normally when I forget to set my alarm. So that's why I always set my alarm like before the live streams, just because I know I might forget. The South Africans added some mongrel to the URC teams this season. And JFC, I can't type anymore, says Katie Dixon. Oh, I definitely will. And there, and also we've got their British equals Irish. And there as well, says Guilliami. And there, although I think he speaks French as well. So he might have a little bit of, I guess, a soft spot for the French side. But I'm looking forward. Do let me know, Guilliami, who is going to win that matchup tomorrow, La Rochelle or Racing 92? I am curious to know who you think will be able to go all the way to the final. I've just realized I'm not really centralized, am I, in my camera? I'm like, I just go like that. That's a lot easier than moving the chair. I didn't do that earlier on, but I should have. I think for some reason I've got a tab up of like insects. Like as in insects you can eat. The fruit thing got me curious, and you can buy garlic and herb insect mixture with grasshoppers, crickets, and mealworms. No, not happening. You can also buy chocolate-coated scorpions. Oh, I should get one of those for George. Buy him a scorpion-covered or chocolate-covered scorpion and see if he will eat it. He probably won't. Nutty, quite salty, very crunchy is something that someone said about it. That was Liam from 2019 about a nutty kind of chocolate-coated scorpion. And also, we've got there, that comment was enough. So, water crunchy bugs have a lot of protein in them. And also, I'm in the match, says Korean Beat. So, there was quite a good attendance by the looks of it. So, how many people are there for the matchup? I mean, maybe instead of that, you can get a salted caramel scorpion, teriyaki mealworms. I mean, it's not exactly something I'll go down. But I know that they were saying at one stage, like, insects are the future of what people will be eating. Because at the end of the day, like if the vegans, although vegans wouldn't eat insects now that I think about it, vegans would decide not to eat them. But like to be able to bring up more protein types overall. Chocolate-coated crickets doesn't have a very good review. Great for a laugh. Honestly, it tastes like dirt. Very crunchy, very dry, but I made me mates eat them and the reactions was great. And also on inflict self-mutilation. I feel like I should buy George some chocolate-coated crickets and not tell him what they are. No, I can't do that. Could I? Don't know. Dairy-free. Wait, dairy-free chocolate. Are they trying to make it terrible? Like at least have like chocolate, like with a whole heap of sugar in it to kind of make it bearable for those ones. But currently 13 points difference between these two sides. I'm just looking at them. They've got 3 one-star reviews. I'm going to close that tab or else I probably will end up buying them for George. I mean, I could send him in fact, he's coming around tomorrow. I'll message him. Well, I won't message him. He'll be here. So I'll just ask him. I do it, you won't, says Patty. The thing is, I probably would. Although they're $13 to buy insects. Like, I could get him some M&Ms and then put a random cricket in it. That would be such a dick move. But I could do it. No, I could. Maybe. Don't know. I don't know whether I'm much of a prankster. I once tried to prank Isaac with a scream mask on. But he saw me because I tried to prank him, like, and he was going up to a door, so he saw the reflection. And you've always got to have vegan options. Whenever I organize a barbecue, I have to cook a vegan dish for one of my mates because he's awake. I mean, that's the thing. George might be keen on one of those videos that are like comparing burgers that are vegan and not vegan, and also Pusscat. And there's this Petty. If you give me $13, Petty, I will buy them for George. And also, Petty got insomnia, says Bibbidi, and also we got that Vossa said 3 in there as well. But yeah, chocolate-coated crickets, they're quite expensive for like the amount that you get. You only get 25 crickets for $13. Like, I feel like that is a bit of a tough one in terms of the comparisons. I've realized this halftime break is quite long, and we have talked about insects for a majority of them. And also, we've got to, we'll try and sort you some vids. And this is Norm for the game as well. I'll say any notable names. One moment. There we go. I have replied to Norm. It's in the Secret Santa gifts section, which is what I cannot believe for that one. But currently 13 points to 10. I feel like that is a very believable one at the moment because Leinster at home are a hard side to beat. Munster away from home, I come back and we're talking about crunchy crickets. Yeah, I was going to buy some for George, but I don't know whether or not spending $13 on crickets is a good investment. You might as well spend 13 on a salted caramel scorpion, eh? Even saying that makes my face do this, and it's not even on purpose. Mealworms, teriyaki mealworms for me do not sound nice. Barbecue grasshoppers, that makes my toes curl. Average. Crunchy, but not a lot of taste. 6 out of 10. I love the reviews on these. Great gift for teens. What? Added a gag gift for the teenage boys. They loved it. All right. And also, I mean, that's the thing. Second half wise, I know that we were talking about crickets just there, so you guys eat insects. Nah, we don't. But George probably would if I paid him enough type thing. Like if I was like, I'll give you $30 to eat an insect, he'd be like, nah. And I'll be like 50 and he'd be like, yeah, probably. But the thing is, I would have to break the bank to pay him enough to be able to buy it. So it's probably a $63 venture, $50 to make him eat one and $13 for the crickets. Or that one. I feel like it would still be worth it though. Just give him an energy drink with it and he would eat anything, I would say. But now currently they are making their way out and Mopani worms for the win, says Mimania. They did have some type of worms on there. Mealworms. You can get them in teriyaki flavored. Is that similar? Out of curiosity, Mimania. Also, I mean, if they are verified and edible, I'd have a crack. Says Sebastian, I wonder if this website ships to Romania. One moment. Send you some mealworms. Add to trolley. Oh, I got to put in my password. That's unfortunate. This is going to be the kickoff of the second half now, ladies and gentlemen. And also spent that on some bowlers. And I still say that very wrong, don't I? They would be some quite nice sausages, I would think, for that match. I'm going to see if they do have a delivery address of Romania. Country. They do ship to Romania, Sebastian. That's awesome. I didn't even realize they ship there. Sounds disgusting. They do. I wouldn't eat them, to be honest. They don't sound too nice overall, but I can't believe you can ship to Romania. A sympathy or symphony of juices exploding in your mouth. See, now that now puts me off a little bit because I think of like those little jelly cubes, and I feel like I would eat that, but I don't know whether or not I would eat a worm. But now Toulouse hanging on to that one. Actually, we're in the same colour kit as the Munster men normally would, and we do get to see the Irish derby happening and not too far away. I wonder if I get free shipping to Romania. And that is now going to be bouncing up. And it's going to be a great tackle made by Jameson Gibson Park. And also, you said it like, you can launch parcels to, they can launch parcels to Mars. Well, it's a New Zealand-based site, and I've used this site many times. Like, I've bought hundreds, or maybe not hundreds, but heaps of things from them. I never realized they shipped anywhere other than New Zealand and maybe Australia. Do they ship to the US? I am going to have a look. Add a new address. I'm not from New Zealand. I'm from the United States. Ooh. I'd have some fun with this. And I'll say the time is gone loose, or it's gone loose, says Mimania. And yeah, but we all go like this. And there we go. Now the scoreboard should hopefully be updated itself. Hugo Keenan goes back across to Gary Ringrose. This is a precise looking backline from Leinster. Gary Ringrose, he has already been close to scoring the try, and he won't quite get one yet, as he did give it off to Robbie Henshaw. He does take the carry forward. Now Michael Alalatoa does decide to take on the contact with Richie Arnold. Two Southern Hemisphere boys going head-to-head there. Now off lands a Jimmy O'Brien. Going backwards to Toulouse, making sure that they don't make any mistakes by rushing up too early. It's a good low tackle made by Julio Marchand there. Only 38 minutes splits these two sides. For one side, they will go through to the final. For the other side, they will be knocked out of the competition. I should mention the yellow card is still in play of Meafu, and he will be off the field for probably another, maybe, I'd say 6 minutes or so. I think I'll start doing well, Mum. And you ever believe this? This Kiwi guy sent me some lovely chalky crickets and a caramel scorpion. A hand on heart, says Sebastian. See, it would be a very unbelievable story, wouldn't it? So you would have to definitely have the proof side of things. I didn't realize they had international shipping. I know that I feel like a little kid in the candy store now, knowing that I could send things to anyone. What do they got? Rugby. What they got rugby based? They've got Rugby 22. Who would want to send that to anyone, eh? Am I right? It's not a bad game. Overall, I think it has its positives, it has its negatives, just like all games. Overall, you could get the New Zealand Rugby Stars cookbook. It's written by Kieran Reid and all sorts. I was like, cheers, guys. Says it was Carl there as well. So, yeah, I guess maybe I hit it off. Oh, you've got your barbecue, don't you, Carl, if I'm not wrong? Or have you finished cooking the food at this stage? Do let me know. Are you on our Discord as well, Carl? Because if you are, I did get a picture earlier on sent to that Discord from Gareth showing his barbecue. So if you do want to send us something to make us a bit hungry, that is the place to go. It's going to be the penalty to Toulouse there on the far side. They did end up going down. And enjoy, Carl, says Miminia. There as well. But currently now, they will be able to kick this one for the touchline. And also finished. And there says Carl. And also we've got there. Cheers, Carl. Says Yvette there. And Paddy Wigan has once again smashed his head on the keyboard. By the looks of it. Now Roman into Mac with a good kick. Him and Dupont. And also what's your Discord says, Carl. One moment. I will find it. Oh, I was going to look at the picture of Novmum's drawing. Or her child's drawing, wasn't I? One moment. I'll go here. Right. Well, he's a way better drawer than me. Novmum, I couldn't even draw a stick figure at this stage, and I wish I was joking. Right, I will go like this, copy that, and now if I go like this, oops, there we go, that is the link. Oh, Sebastian, you're too quick, aren't you? And pity your kids on the putter. And as I says Miminia, now driving their way forward once again, it will be in the hands of Leinster just outside of their 22. Now chasing after it. Waiting for it. What goes up must come down, and it has gone backwards. They have said so. Now Jimmy O'Brien tries to go for the corner. He actually almost ended up breaking one of his ankles with that step. Now Jameson Gizenbark fires it off to Caelan Doris. Stew bugs and onions. Says Karma Petch there. See, I feel like the key is to have it with something that covers up the taste of the bug. And also the meat is in the oven. Just put in the garlic rolls on the grill. Oh, I like garlic bread. Now I'm very hungry. I shouldn't have looked at all that food because I'm seeing the picture of Gareth's barbecue as well now. It's just making me hungry. But now it is going to be available for the Leinster. That's going to be knocked away by Roman Interback. He has been tripped there. I think they're going to say that it was fine. And also we have got there, I was joking, says Karma Peach, although it's a good mentality to have. It's like the chocolate covered one. Although the thing that I can't understand is chocolate covered, but we'll make it dark chocolate, which some people don't like anyway. So we'll make it a chocolate that some people don't like and also have a bug in there. Or a scorpion. I can't imagine eating a scorpion. Like, I know that people eat tarantulas. And also we have got the CP3 from CPT. I assume that is Carl, as I do see that logo. As it seems like Paddy will provide the Martian commentary for the Galactic Championship. And there's Sebastian. It's going to be... I don't think there's anything too serious there. Okay. I think Roman Intermac did end up falling over there, and also Tripe, Brooke, and there as well. Björk, and also, okay, I'm in. Says Carl there. So, yeah, you will see the picture of Gareth's sausage and also the other sausages next to it and the pork chops, or the lamb chops, I think it is. As well, I realized I worded that really badly. It was just the first thing that I saw was Gareth's sausage. And also, we have got there, can I just make you guys French chocolate profiterolles, I think it is, isn't it? Instead, yes. Yes, please. I will come to France. Although, it's one of those ones, I'm going to have a look at it first, just because I want to know what it looks like. I'm one of those people, if it doesn't look nice, I won't eat it. But French chocolate, I've spelled it wrong, but that's all right. I see the meat and the sausages in there, and you'll see a picture of carrot sausage. Yeah. I guess it's one of those ones that Discord, it's interesting. Classic French. Oh, they look all right, don't they? British referee. And then also we've got the Orechelep. And as I says, Karma Pitch. At the moment, it looks like Ronan Kelleher is staying down. I'm going to put a picture. Who else is hungry out of curiosity? Because anyone who's hungry, I'm about to put them behind me and make you just a little bit hungrier. So they look nice. And also, I don't think Williami is too happy with the referee at the moment. Or Ronan Kelleher just took the big bump on the chin and that ended up rocking him big time. I'm in the UK, so I've got to go to the UK. What region of the UK are you in, Yvette? Do let me know. I've still got that picture of the French man from last week. There's one of them. Oops, that's the wrong stadium. One moment. We've accidentally clicked that. Oh, that's Forsyth Bar. Now we're back. Nope, that's still Forsyth Bar. We need the Aviva. Nope, that's Principality. Okay, every time I click on one, then I click on Aviva, I click too quick. And also food. And there says Betty, yeah. Good old food. And also we have got there Switzerland. And they're from Karma Pitch. I had Hamish like someone's sausage. Says Betty. Look at those. Don't they look all right? I don't know. If I get close enough, you might actually hear my stomach as it just rumbled. It also with custard or ice cream or chocolate sauce. Now, I feel like I'm doing some sort of cooking show now. I've always either creme pastiere or creme or creme pastiere. I feel like I pronounced that very bad, didn't I? That one, but now she and he is back out on the field. You've mean Shabal. And as I says Yvette, they're now going to be going back across for Leinster. They are sitting 40 metres out from the line. I am going to remove that background because that looks too nice. There we go. We're back to the Aviva, which also looks nice, although it looks better when there are people in the stands, which they have got for this matchup. Johnny Sexton puts the ball up high, just outside of the 22. A hanging ball, but taken nicely by Thomas Ramos now. And those are Prefeteros. I'm not fully erect, but I've got to see me differently. Says Imagine also ready, steady, cook. Says Karma Pitch. I mean, me and George have talked about doing some sort of cooking thing, how we try and make some fancy food. But the problem is, like, my kitchen doesn't need that disaster. So I've got to try and convince him to use his kitchen. As his looks like it's a little bit easier to clean, and it's also got the perfect layout because it's got the island in the middle that we could do the cooking on, or like the kind of presentation on type thing. So I have to try and convince them. So I will need you guys' help with that for the next time he's on. But now Jack, kind of nice ball off. And they are continuing to just hang on to the ball. Yeah, Leinster, brilliant offload. So Michael Alaratoa had his ankles taken out from underneath him. Gross trying to get in the breakdown. On my Federals bring all the boys to the yard, says Yvette. Oh, that one, I'm sure they do. And also King Prawns and Garlic, says Karma Pitch. See, I've never had a prawn, but I've heard that garlic prawns are the way to go if you do have them. Or garlic shrimp. I think anything with garlic seems to be the way to go when it comes to seafood a little bit. Unless it's lemon for a fish. I think it's the other kind of combo. But 48 minutes through, Johnny Sexton's not too happy with that one, as it is the penalty against Caelan Doris. Has been penalised. And something in Cape Town, give it a try, is the one in the Discord. Oh, I just missed the button. Oh. So that's 135 Rand, which I believe is $13.50. Are we talking about food or sex? Says Mimina. A bit of both by the sounds of it. And also we've got ourselves a lovely Mediterranean supper going here. And I was like, yum. And I was like, yeah, $13.50 for that stack of meat and whatnot, I feel was a very good price. Because, like, you wouldn't get that here. Like, I was looking at burgers the other day, and you literally get, like, a patty, a real thin patty, and, like, a bun and whatnot, and it's like $10. Now Josh Van den Flower goes off into the hands of Sexton, Robbie Henshaw. Now to Gary Ringrose, chip and chase. And it's going to be dinking nicely. Now Thomas Ramos, he did get a hand on it, so has to try and play it. And who knows in this chat? It always goes either way. Well, these ones we talked about fruit earlier on, and then we asked, that was fun with Rugby Itch, with the asking about what's his favourite brand of apple. And he went in depth about the technology side of things. I was actually at a local food outlet in my area. That's a good burger on Discord. Says Carl there, yeah, my stomach is still rumbling. And I was like, well, I'm not thin. And then I went to Seafood Disco and pulled a muscle. I like it. I like a good pun. I like a good joke. That's going to be another advantage to Leinster. And here's a good joke for you. Johnny Sexton, well, it's not really a joke, but he's got another assist. He just keeps on going, Betty. That woke you up, and also the speed of the ruck is amazing in that try, says Barry Power. They had an average of 1.5 seconds, which is like insane for a side. And the fact that they just keep on recycling it as quickly as they do Leinster, like, how do you defend against that? James Lake puts up his hand, says, that's me second. Okay, that's it. And also we've got that 16 versus 15 versus Ireland. And there says the Bandits. And I will ask you, who do you think will win up against La Rochelle and also the Racing 92 side? Do let me know who you think will be able to get a topless disco, no roof on it. I feel like that joke hit the funny bone more because it is currently 3:17 a.m. here in New Zealand. So I get that little bit of that midnight chuckle going. And also James Lowe, try. And there, as says Katie, and it was a wide cutout pass from Johnny Sexton. And that's my 3:15 a.m. yawn. Also, Racing 92 will win, says Carl there. And that would make the final possibly at this stage, La Rochelle. Oh, sorry, not La Rochelle. I wish they had a third place playoff game in the Champions Cup. I'd love to see Toulouse versus La Rochelle, although I guess we do get to see it quite often in the top 14. If that was the way it goes. And also, Racing 92 looking good at the moment, says Yvette. Do you know what happened to Kurtley Beale? Is he currently injured? Because I know that he wasn't in the lineup last week. Oh, I've still got that picture of those things. I've got to get rid of them. That sounded bad. It's the French chocolate desserts. And my stomach is legitimately rumbling at the moment. Also, we have got. They wonder how the Irish will do if they are in their visit New Zealand, or their New Zealand visit. Sorry, I read that terribly. I'm excited, and I hope they do well. I think they can push us well and truly. If not, I want to say taking the series may be a bold statement. So I'm going to say 2-1 in favour of the All Blacks. But saying that, I like the Irish squad more now than I like the All Black squad in terms of that chemistry side of things. So it's going to be interesting. Safe to say this game is over. Says Carwin. Also, we've got that. It's just a margin of defeat now that matters. And also, indeed, defending champs are out. And I hope you had a strong coffee or 5. That's the thing. Believe it or not, which I think people don't normally believe me. And I've never had a coffee in my life. And I hardly drink caffeine. So I feel like it's weird that I keep energy at these hours of the night for some reason. Like, I yawn a couple times, of course, but overall we do like live streams for like 12 hours throughout the night and I'm fine. I think it's just because I keep on moving my head. I realized I'm looking at the game, then the chat, then the game, then the chat, then the scoreboard, and it's just shaking my brain around. 3-0 to the Kiwis, I reckon, says Barry Power. And Bill probably on the piss in there as well, probably. Is it cheap in France? And also, let me go and Shell real quick. Catch you in a few minutes. We will see you later on. Also, All Blacks versus Leinster is going to be interesting. There's Matthew Dixon there. And also, Hamish, do you believe in love at first sight with eye contact? Do you have that experience in school or college? Any crush that you have had that you have to share? I think I've mentioned one on a live stream earlier on. But the problem is being from such a small town, I should be safe at 3 a.m., but someone might still be watching. And there's a chance that it kind of links up. And whiskey, is it? Says Barry, actually, like just water, which sounds really weird, doesn't it? I think you can tell and do interwebs. And it says Miminia there, unless it's like a real greasy something, you don't really want to put your typing fingers on there. I believe in semis at first sight, says the Bishop. Also, wine is like water over there, lad, says Barry. Yeah, I know that we've got some pretty tame drinks compared to some regions of the world, but I guess it's one of those ones. What is the best type? And George's crush is George. And there says Patty, not quite. Although it has been rumoured quite a few times, I think, because we do so many live streams together. And Toulouse used all their force on Munster. And also, I want to scrum with the Kiwi girls. And there says it was Karma. And also, thank you for staying up to give us info on the game. No worries at all. Like, that's the thing. I love my Champions Cup that much. I love URC. Any game in the middle of the night. Like, we have got plenty of them coming up on the channel. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. That is our other channel, which we also post videos on, and we will be doing some more of not just rugby over there, but also some general sports events. And that is a link for that channel as well. Bushmill, lovely Irish whiskey. Oh, question for you. I know this is going to make me sound like a generic youngster, but have you tried Conor McGregor's whiskey, Proper 12? I've heard mixed reviews. Have you ever tried it? And if so, is it any good? Apparently, it's got like that kind of Manuka wood taste. Now it's going to be taken nicely at the back for Toulouse, trying to use their backline. That looked a little bit high from Henshaw, and he wasn't really ducking. You've got to be careful with that swinging arm, and also don't like Hamish. You like the way he looks at you, says Penny Wagon. I mean, normally, if he's looking at me in that way, it's because I've told him we're probably going to go and get pizza or something. And also, Toulouse are looking tired in the warm-up. Says Greg go away, and also we've got to come out. You want to rub your peach on their peach? Says Mimania. And also we've got there, not before the bell, and Proper 12 Irish whiskey. It's pretty average at best. See, I've heard that. It's kind of like, it got hyped up majorly, but it like didn't really deliver. Also, we've got Bushmills. Is Bushmills any good, Window? I've just realised you're the perfect person, I guess, in a way, because you've got Window Beer Review Thomas. Favourite beer, Thomas? Do let me know. That's almost crazy timing in so many ways. And also, what's the difference between Super Rugby and Euro Rugby, says Barry Power? It used to be that there was predominantly a lot more kicking taking place from Northern Hemisphere kind of European rugby, but they've really changed that dynamic. The Irish sides go out there and run rampage around their opposition. So it used to be that. Now I think it's more of the case of Super Rugby, you're probably looking at, I guess the difference has shrunk majorly. And British or blonde referee, and there it says Guilherme, I believe he is from, I want to say England, but I could be wrong. And also Connemara, Peter Whiskey, says Robbie there. And also, Hamish, do your buddies George and Isaac has girlfriend? So George does not. Isaac has had a girlfriend for about maybe 5-6 years, maybe a little bit longer. Then a proper shot is made by a crackhead, says Barry Power. And there as well. And also we got, I think Conor McGregor has nothing to do with his anymore. He sold the brand. There you go. Because I know that, what is it? Is it Jack Daniels or is that, no. Is it Jack Daniels or is that, what one's the beef jerky? Is that Jack Daniels? No, it's not. Something Jack. Hungry Jacks? No, that's the burger outfit. I feel like I'm having a shocker. It is currently quite late here. O'Hara Stout, favourite beer for me. And there's the Window Beer Review, Thomas. Do you actually, on your channel, do you do beer reviews out of curiosity? Or is it just maybe a similar name? All right, and also we've got there Carl Dixon from England, and then Christophe Ridley from France. He is, of course, one of the referees on the sideline for this match who does have a bit of power out there for the game. And also we've got there, love shout, drink Guinness all the time. Or love stout, 10 out of 10, drink Guinness all the time. He does already checked, says Sebastian. I might have to give it a look. I do enjoy a good review. Like whether it's food, whether it's, I guess, drinks. Overall, I am going to do the old Google, if that's all right. Maybe. Window. Beer review. Thomas. Here we go. Does indeed. 22 hours ago, you are very active with your beer reviews. I am impressed. I know how hard it is to upload consistently, but you got 514 videos and you have got videos pretty often. You know what? I'm feeling in a good mood. I'm always in a good mood though. Jim Beam, that's the one I was thinking of, I think. What's Jack Daniels? Is that beef jerky? Jack Daniels chocolate whiskey jerky. Jack Daniels jerky. Jack Links is the jerky. And there, but everyone, that is the link to beer reviews. If you do enjoy a good beer, which I think a few of our subscribers do, sure to give them a look. He's got a lot of videos on there. But now we will go like this. And we will go like this. There we go. And also, Katie is from England. And he's going to go away. And also interview other content creators if you're interested in being interviewed. Sometimes there's Window Beer Reviews, although I probably don't know a huge amount about beers. So if it's something other than beer related, I can probably do not too badly. And thanks, really appreciate that. No worries at all. But yeah, I'm not the best at beer. George is probably the man for the beer. He enjoys one. Or actually, he's more of a something solider than a beer. And also good for you. So here's Karma Peach there in Guinness. And then his cousin. And also, I'm pretty sure Christophe Ridley was born in France. He might have been raised in England. But he was born in Paris. Now currently Toulouse are hanging on to this ball 58 metres out from the line now. And they are going to continue to build their way forward. Toulouse, they need a try and they need it soon. Currently 20 points difference between the two sides. It's going to be a nice carry. Unfortunately, though, that is the end of the nice carry as he has gone down and also subbed. See, Petty Wagon the interview wouldn't have to do anything with alcohol, just about creating content and life in general. I would be keen. I feel like I have lived some life. That sounded like I was like 80, didn't it? But we have an interesting situation with like content creation, seeing as we do like a lot of it. I guess you could say, I'll say you are rugby. And there, you are rugby? Maybe you are right, if I'm not wrong. Maybe. Currently, Leinster, I think that ball's gone out on the full. It was a massive shot in the midfield for Toulouse. And it was Aki who was able to put in a very nice hit there. And was able to do very well for himself. Driving him backwards and interviewing Hamish on alcoholic beverages, like asking Snoop Dogg for his favourite opera in there. And I am rugby. Says Katie Dixon there as well. But that was all Meafu has already got himself a card in this game. And unfortunately, when you're that big and that tall, you got to make sure you duck more. I think this man might be going off for the rest of the game here. And unfortunately for him, oh no, I think they're going to say it's all right because he did do a little tiny duck in that situation. So it is going to be all right, and it will now be a scrum feed in favour of Leinster. This game has had a little bit of a stalemate between the two sides. No one really going over for any tries in the last 5 to 10 minutes or so. And you're right. And there, as I said, it's going to go away. And now currently it is going to be down on the front row. 59 minutes through this game. And also the heart from Katie there as well. Waiting for the opportunity. Jameson, Gibson Park. It's gone down. And we use up a little bit more time on the clock, which Leinster won't be minding too much because at the end of the day, the more time that is used up on the clock, the more chance they have of making their way through to the next stage. And that is going to be the final up against either Racing 92 or they might find themselves in the situation of going up against La Rochelle. But either way, that's going to be a great matchup. I feel like all of the talk has now really made me hungry. So I don't know what I'm going to have afterwards, but I am quite keen for something. I don't know what we've got. I'll probably just have chips again, to be honest. We might have a pizza in the freezer. That might be a good way to do it. Currently now passing it back, Johnny Sexton. And I also try to have the O'Hara I have to try the O'Hara stout now, as it found only in Ireland, says Sebastian. It's a good question. It sounds very Irish, at a guess. O'Hara, but currently now, nice drive forward from Leinster, only sitting 15 metres out from the line now. Stout. I'm going to see whether or not it is in New Zealand as well. O'Hara's Irish stout from the beer cellar. I do not know where the beer cellar is. And I don't even know. It's in New Zealand. There is a can for $5. And it's like, hey, you got to be 18. Which is probably fair enough. That's probably a very important thing to have for a drinking website / alcohol selling website. Now currently Toulouse, they've been able to get this ball back just in front of their own line. And now Dupont goes back across the hands of Ramos using the back line. Can they get over the line into Mac? Now, once again, he's got Labelle on his outside, probably hard enough to find. I do export a lot of mainland Europe. I'm not sure where. Here's Window Beer Reviews, because he is based out of Romania at the moment. So I wonder whether or not that is a location that does end up receiving any beverages from there. But yeah, they have actually got it here in New Zealand from a random website that I've never heard of. So it must be legit. And now nice low tackle there. And it's a penalty against Leinster now. So there's been a lot of penalties against both sides. Definitely on the breakdown, it seems to have been a little bit shaky in terms of what way it is going to be going. But it was a good run initially from Jimmy O'Brien. They went for the white ball, and also we've got their send us alcohol. We need it to survive. And also, should say from the Carlo Brewing Company in there one moment. Carlo Brewing. Where is it? Carlo. Oh, yes, I am 18. O'Hara's from the Carlo. It hasn't actually got the name of it, like in terms of who makes it. And I can't zoom in on the picture. If I buy 50 of them, I get 10% off. Bonus. And also top 10 in the most alcoholic countries, along with Ireland, keeping it real, says Sebastian there. But the Romanians and Petty has once again smacked his head on his keyboard by the looks of it there. Now, currently, it is going to be Metafu going off the field. That is a good move because he has been right on the verge of getting himself another card throughout the last little while. He will be going off, and now it is a throw nicely to the front. I believe it's Pietro Malwaka, who has now made his way out there. Are you 18? What website are you on, Hamish? I am, of course, I am on a beverage selling website, and that is all. They actually have a lot of beer, and I didn't even realize this was a website in New Zealand. I thought like Super Liquor was one of the only ones. Also, we have got there, Patty. You've expressed my emotions perfectly, or you've expressed my emotions perfectly. And they're currently now trying to get the legs driving here for Toulouse on the halfway line. They need a try, and they need it soon. If they get 3 converted tries, they win this game, but they've only got 18 minutes to be able to do so. And the defense of Leinster is one of the best in club rugby today. Now going back across. Romain into Mac, goes for the kick of mine, looking for the 50-22. It's just going to go into touch, though. That is going to use up more time, and he's disappointed with that. I feel like if he knew that that kick wasn't going to be able to find touch inside of the 22, he probably would have gone for a run instead. But nicely done from Josh van den Flair. Just trying to use some of that brute force of this Toulouse side. That's the thing. They've been good, but they haven't been great in this game, unfortunately. It seems to be that's the big difference here for them. Normally go well. I've been 18 ever since I was 13 on some websites. And there as well, says Sebastian. I know that Facebook used to have it, that you had to be like 13, and yet so many people had it at primary school, including, I think I had it at primary school, but I didn't actually do it for the chatting. I did it for the games. I liked Farmville, Farmandia, a few games to do with farming. So there's a football one, as Sleepy Patty, he knows best. In there says Paddy Wagon. Does indeed. Very knowledgeable. There's going to be another penalty to Toulouse, so they will be able to kick this one for the corner. And the collision dominance in there. So the collision success is 46%. I've never seen a stat like that before. So neutral collisions, dominant collisions, and negative collisions. So it does mean that 46% of the collision dominance is going the way of Leinster. 21% of their collisions have gone the dominant way of Toulouse. I guess I haven't, like I mentioned, I've never actually seen that stat used before. And also beer consumption in South Africa is more than double the world average. Jeez, it's a good effort, isn't it? Well, it's a good effort in all the wrong ways, I guess you could say. Like, it's impressive, but it's also, I guess, not ideal for the health side of things. But now currently trying to get the rolling ball going for it. It's going to be the advantage now in favour of the Toulouse side. Going to be using the backline. Romain Intermac, the charge down. Very nicely done by Frawley. And that will straight away mean that they are going back for the initial penalty. Toulouse might just try and keep this one going as quickly as possible. Maybe even go for, or we consider the quick tap, and South Africans love their beer. Says Carl Peterson there as well. And Frawley, he has come out on the field like I mentioned just before. He is out there for Robbie Henshaw as a replacement. Roman Intermac kicks it for the touchline. 5 metres out still. And Leinster need to try and defend once again. Their rolling ball defence is normally pretty, I guess you could say pretty sound. That guy kind of looked like Joe Root if Joe Root was about 20 or 30 years older in the coaching box. I don't know whether or not that was a Toulouse player or a Toulouse coach or a Leinster coach. They've gone to the front, nicely done. Now, Pietro Malwaka, we saw that explosive pace from that man last week. They're close to the touchline. Somehow, he has kept that one in the field of play. That is absolutely brilliantly done, walking on a tightrope from Tolafua. And he goes in and not a fan of American beer. Sorry, my fellow Americans. And we invented beer. There's Mimania, and also waiting for the backlash. There's Mimania there as well. But Tolafua has somehow kept himself in the field of play. Down the short side, Leinster almost stopped pushing because they thought they had put him out, and just uses, that's brilliant, from Tolafua. I don't think I've seen a better finish down the wing for a rolling maul. And he just somehow is about literally half an inch from the touchline the whole time, but he goes over, scores the try for Toulouse. I mean, the crowd are booing, but they can't really boo it too much because it was a try. But that is going to be now 17 points to Toulouse, 30 points to Leinster. 2 more converted tries is all they need now to be able to get themselves into the lead. So I believe Leinster, if they get a penalty, they will take on the 3. But it was his first European Cup try in 22 matches for Tolafua. There's another big yawn from myself. But like they're saying, they thought they had put him out, and also Toulouse have good goal kickers. They do indeed. And it was proven well and truly in that kicking kickoff with the matchup between them and Munster. And also we've got their Samir Carl. I've heard great things about Budweiser. And when I tried it, I was disappointed to say the least. And Sebastian there. What one's George's one? I think he loves a Isaac's a Woodstock boy. He drinks Woodstock. It's a white can. I can't think of the name. I'm going to have to look at it. Woodstock white can. I'm going to look up. See if I can find the one that he has. Woodstock bourbon, I think, is the one that he gets. And zero sugar cola, I think, is the one that he has. And also Germany, Belgium, and Czech Republic reign supreme in the beer industry. Budweiser is awful. You have to try proper American beer, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale as well. And there says Window Beer Reviews. I feel like this guy knows his stuff. But then saying that, when you have done about 500 videos, I assume quite a few of those are reviews of certain alcoholic beverages. So you probably tasted quite a bit at your time. Jack Conan now passes it back across into the hands of, I believe it was the youngster Jimmy O'Brien. It's going to be stolen there, but it was a knock on, and now their beers are too bitter. And there says Mimania. But yeah, I think Isaac's a Woodstock bourbon kind of guy, if you've tried that. Has anyone tried Woodstock bourbon zero cola or zero sugar cola? I don't know whether or not it's a popular drink overall, but it's genuine Kentucky bourbon whiskey. So it's not quite a beer, actually, now I look at it, because it's bourbon, isn't it? Also, about the bitter beers, but I feel like that would be an interesting video. We'd have to go pick up George, bring him in, and then we could get him to do a testing one. And also we've got the Dud is like drinking piss horrible stuff, says Barry Power. I was actually not, mate, you can't beat those three. You're only living, or you're only lying to yourself. And also we've got there Germany as all that is, and that all that is. And Healy is going onto the field now for Porter as a sub, and also Luke McGrath out there. That is for Jameson Gibson Park. We're now 12 minutes left in this one. And now continuing to drive their way forward. McGrath gets his first touch of the ball. Now Healy also getting his first touch. Is wrestled down by Antoine Dupont, who is now stuck in the breakdown. Jack Conan trying to go over, and also too much hop boiling there, mate. And there, too much hop boiling. I have no idea what that means. Hop boiling. I feel like it's a term for something to do with the beer making process, I assume. Now James Lowe going back across to Keanu tackle well. Toulouse still working hard at 68 minutes through this game. It's 7 phases. Some of the players look like they're getting a little bit slower getting up. I know that Guru looked like he was struggling just a little bit. Now Frawley to take that contact. Now McGrath goes off into the hands of Ringrose, once again held up by Roman Intermac. He might have turned it into a maul. No, he hasn't. And he does have to release it, and it's a penalty now. No, it's not. It's a scrum feed. And feed, or in favour of Toulouse, and I think they are going to have to scrum now. But Thomas Lebel has been nowhere near as prominent in this game as we did see him in the last match up against Munster. He's hardly had the opportunity. Cyril Bay about to make his way out onto the field by the looks of it. And that is because the number 17 is a bit wobbly. And also, I want some foam in my beer, says Carl. See, I don't really know what makes a really good beverage. Well, I know that I like Fanta, but Fanta's probably not really. I know that people say vodka and Fanta is a good combo, but I haven't tried it. I feel like that would be one. We've tried soda streaming random drinks, if that counts, which it doesn't really. We soda streamed chocolate milk and made it fizzy chocolate milk, and it was still actually not too bad. To be honest, milk fizzy, though, that was disgusting. That was just like, what did I describe it as? Liquid, like milky cheese, which is, even just thinking about it, that's almost put me off food. Was one, but we tried a few random soda streaming items. George wanted to blow it up, but we got a second part that will be coming out at some stage after the first part does come out on the Kiwi Lads Extras channel. But now, backline movement once again going to be opening up for Toulouse, Antoine Dupont, and they go buck wild on the Halatier. I never tried a cocktail with Fanta. I usually use Coke and juices for them. And then also, what fizzy chocolate drink? We did indeed. That is the kind of weird stuff you will see on the Kiwi Lads Extras channel. We will be soda streaming random items. We also, what else have we done? We've done a rugby league live one. And straight vodka is the way forward, mate. And there says Barry. I mean, it's an option, isn't it? What's the type of vodka? I can't even think of brands at the moment. Vodka, what one do they have? I always say it was a slightly, I guess, accent. Vodka. What one? There's a big bottle that's red, and I can't think of it. What is the red bottle of vodka, ladies and gentlemen? Do let me know. But kick back downfield. It's a good kick. Toulouse have to take this one quickly. They've got to keep this game propelling forward. They've got 10 minutes to get themselves those 2 converted tries. If they give away a penalty, Leinster, will not hesitate to go for the 3 points and get themselves 2 converted tries and some ahead. Big run from Serubai. Tolafoa, the try scorer. And very nicely early on to get himself that try, but they do need a couple more. And this could be a brilliant comeback from Toulouse if they can do so. Serubai once again, tackled by Jack Conan. Like I mentioned, Leinster's defence is extremely tough to get through because banned in my country for whatever reasons. And there as well, says Carl, no, it's flicked from Roman Intermac. He does end up giving the ball straight to James Lowe, the bounce of the rugby ball. It's going to just stay in the field of play. Brilliant kick from Lowe. And now Thomas Ramos has to try and run it. It looks like Toulouse are going to run it out from their own line. Thomas Labelle, isolated, dragged down by Josh van den Fleur. And now has to fire it back once again. Toulouse have no option but to run this ball. And they're doing just that. Thomas Ramos, ball on the outside to Pietro Malvaka. Ball back to Roman Intermac. I think there might have been a little knock-on the ground. No way. No, vodka in South Africa. Smirnoff, that is probably the one that I'm thinking of. That's a little knock-on from Toulouse, though. And that could possibly be the match. We will have to wait and see, though. There is still 9 minutes left, but that is not what they would have been wanting in that situation. I think it was Tekori. Wasn't quite able to hang on to that one. And Leinster chance of going around the ground. The point, he passed it off to Intermac. Their backline is crisp with those 2 and also Toulouse. And then also other vodka brands are okay here, says Carl Peterson. Oh, and that's the Smirnoff brand. Wait, so only Smirnoff is banned, but other vodka brands are okay. Interesting. I'm sure there's some reason behind it, whether or not it's where it's made or something else. And also has Lowe improved that much since leaving New Zealand. I think he has got a lot more, I guess, defensively sound. Because I know that a long time his defense was questioned. And ever since going over there, I think because the game is that fast-paced and there's no one else out on those wings other than him when there's a fast break, he really has to work on that tackling, and he's done just that. And also, Usher, that's why. And there says Carl, but it looks like Josh van den Fleur going off the field, and also Pedrillo making his way out, and as for Arki for the Toulouse side. So a couple of subs being made. About yawning flat out tonight. No Russians ain't it, says Barry Power. But now currently it is going to be 25 metres out from the line. And the scrum feed for Leinster puts the ball in. McGrath takes it. And now it looks like Leinster aren't finished with their attack. They know that if they score one more try, that should confirm their spot in the final. But to be able to do that, they will have to get through this Toulouse defence, which has let them through a few times. And also we have lots of private brewers. And there as well. But who drinks vodka and whiskey and brandy all day, says Carl. Now, nice drive forward from Gary Ringrose. 15 out from the line now for Leinster, trying to pierce that gap was McGrath, but he's been shut down pretty much instantly by that strong defence. Now, waiting for it at the back, around the side. And Lowe is the best wing in the world, says CB. Certainly up there at the moment, the way that he is playing. And he just has an incredible strike rate. At the moment, James Lowe, and also we have got the agree there. Whiskey and rum for me, says Sebastian there. And also people want to remain undetected, says Maminia, but now driving forward. A little time. In fact, it's Michael, his brother. No, it's not. It's actually Dan Sheehan who did have that ball, and that is going to be another penalty. James Lowe saying everyone slowed down, and that is going to be now the shot at the post. So this is huge for them. And so Northern Rugby is far superior then in there, says Barry Power. I mean, I think they're both, I guess, unique in their own way for Northern Rugby and Southern Hemisphere Rugby. I thought Intermac just poured that water right up his nose, but I think it just went on the face. Like, they've both got such unique, I guess, players for one, but then also styles, tactics, and I just love watching both, which is why it's always tough when I have to try and decide who's going to win a World Cup or something, because I have no idea, because all of these sides are developing very nicely. France, Ireland, New Zealand, South Africa, Australia, Argentina, who knows? Maybe imagine the scenes of Argentina win the World Cup. I know that would certainly cause an upset and a half. And I didn't actually mention Wales or England there, as to other sides. Northern Rugby, Varsperia, pump the brakes, son. And Northern Rugby is not pure. Northern Hemisphere Rugby says it was Mimania, but that is going to be an extra couple points. In fact, 3 extra points for Leinster. So now the score is 33-17, and I think the Leinster locals do know that now means that they will be able to make their way through to the final to take on either La Rochelle or the opposition for La Rochelle, which is Racing 92. And I had to watch Super Rugby. It's like baseball. Oh, sorry, it's like basketball. And there's Seth Barry. I assume, is that because of, I guess, the high scores? No, maybe not. Not too sure. Do let me know for the kind of split decision, because I guess it is different to the URC, etc. But then there are still those similarities. And there are lots of purchase staff from the world. And there's Mimania. Now Intermac pass it off. And that looked like a very frustrated pass from Roman Intermac, as it has just not quite gone their way. Now running straight sideways, it is going to be Matthias Labelle once again. Not quite able to go through. Roman Intermac now short pass off into the hands of the big number 7, Cruz, almost stolen by Caelan Doris, but it is going to stay just on the side of Toulouse. Intermac now pop pass up into the hands of Thomas Ramos. He has put that down, and now it's an advantage. James Lowe goes for the chip and chase. He tries to jump over his own teammate. Also no contact, etc. And there says Barry Power. I mean, I guess it's a different kind of contact. Like, I guess Northern Hemisphere, you do see a lot more, I guess, when it comes to like the forwards doing some physical stuff. But then saying that, Super Rugby, there's still some big boys. I mean, you look at a Safa Moore running around smashing people, and Tamaiti Williams, the big frame of that man, 144 kgs, he can put in a hit when he needs to. So I think it just depends on the game that you see overall, depending on who's playing and who kind of those big players are. Because you look at the likes of Tamati Ioane for the Rebels, he's probably not even one of those guys who's like, I guess, probably not a well-known name, but he can certainly put in the big hits. And nice try, CB, but not going to happen. I thought you were going to reference Harry Potter, who did play for Leicester not too long ago. But even though it is 3:48 a.m., I think I've gotten used to trying not to say those ones. But shout out to Harry and Phil. We'll go with that. Now that's going to be a penalty to Toulouse. You said driving across is the call from the referee, so it is going to be Toulouse now. We will be kicking this one for the touchline. So they want to get themselves one try at the end of this matchup by the looks of it. Now, Roman Intermac there. And I was like, ugh, there's Katie Dixon in there as well. See, that's the thing. Jay Hayes has prepared me for this moment. He tried about 50 within a month. I think only one of them went through, but that was because David set me up. But other than that, we've been all good with those ones overall. That's a fancy name, though, for Harry with the P. What does the P stand for? Probably an attractive woman. And also, we got there well played, CCB. And also, we have got there without the South African teams, the New Zealand teams, standards will drop. And there says Barry Power. There is a chance, although the good news is we have still got the Rugby Championship where we do get to take on South Africa, Australia, and Argentina. Although there is rumours that maybe in about 2031, South Africa might consider the Six Nations as an option to try and tear up. That's going to be nicely done by the replacement number 23, Zach Holmes. Now hanging on to it for a little bit longer to lose. They need some phase play here. I guarantee you, you never used, I almost said it. And I said, Jenna, and also Mike. And there's, I have not used that one for Haywood. And there, Haywood's a fancy first name, isn't it? If it was a first name. And the last name even fancier, I guess you could say. Now, it's going to be in the hands of Roman Intermac. In fact, it is Antoine Dupont who's given it back into the hands of Caelan Doris. Great run, finds the fend as well. And now Leinster are on the attack once again now. That's going to be almost a penalty to Cross, or against Cross. Well controlled there, Sam Kane. I just named his kid Hudson. And there's a Hudson Kane. Nice one. And also the tries there's Barry. It sets up for James Lowe. Offloads it. No, he doesn't offload it up. He does end up hanging on to it for a little bit longer. They've got the advantage as well for Leinster. And if they do end up getting themselves the conversion, that will get them over the 40-point line. But Gareth McGrath, it's actually Luke McGrath now asking for it. It was Byrne. Backline movement. Hugo Keenan sells the dummy, goes through and scores the try. Sounds French in there, CCB. And also we've got their fancy names are back with the 10 out of 10 says Katie, but that is a brilliant try for Leinster. And they have been able to now possibly bring up the 40 points in handy victory today. Exactly right. And also wrecked, says Mimania. And the thing is, like, that's Hugo Keenan's 4th European Cup try. Oh, no. But how much has it cost them? Because James Lowe has stayed down. And it doesn't look like he is too flashy at the moment. Right, what happens to James Lowe here? He was chasing after it. His legs looked like they were giving out. Oh, geez, he's really cranked back on one of his calves or his ankle. Oh, yep, that ankle's gone and deserved to be in the final as well. Says Sebastian, also must be nice having the whole international team as your club team, says LB there. Now, Hugo Keenan goes through, but I think James Lowe, his day is over, and not just because there is only 20 seconds left on the clock, so more than likely everyone's day will be over in a very short moment. And also this game is shed and buried. And there as well, it looks like James Lowe, he's getting a little bit of attention also on that kind of Achilles/calf region, which makes you wonder whether or not it was some sort of, hopefully, oh, that one, did he miss? No, he didn't. It did go over, and it was straight out in front, but that is going to be full time in this game. 40 points to 17, brilliantly played by Leinster, and they will move through to the final, take on either Racing 92. Oh, no, James Lowe, he is angry, and I think he was swearing because he knows that he's done something relatively serious to that ankle, so hopefully he's not out for too long. And I'll say, yes, great, mate, jealous are we? And there says Barry Power. Once we go there, Toulouse wasted everyone's time. Says, I wouldn't guarantee that. We got to talk all about alcohol and food and insects and other things with the stream age. And there says Katie Dixon also, we have got there, James looks like a grill. And there, a grill or a girl? And that one, because I mean, I've been compared to him with my haircut, so I can't say too much overall. But currently, they have been able to win that game very nicely done, big level in there, and they went too far off the fitty bomb. Toulouse got their asses kicked seriously, says Sebastian. Yes, but nonetheless, do appreciate you all being here. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe. And alongside that, we have got our live stream tomorrow that is taking place between the Rebels and the Chiefs. And not jealous, it's just weird having an international team playing club rugby. There's LB there, but that is the link to the Kiwi Lad Sport for anyone who does want to check that out. And that is where we upload plenty of videos. And also we have got there and the chat, great commentary, Chow, and the SCB. So I appreciate you, mate. And we will be back tomorrow with hopefully La Rochelle versus Racing 92 as well. It's whether or not they show it here in New Zealand. And bloody mealworms when I was trying to eat my spuds. Sorry about that. Hopefully there were no mealworms in those spuds. And also great stream. Thanks very much. Says username, no worries at all. So we have got Rebels versus Chiefs tomorrow afternoon. And then alongside that, it will be the next matchup that has taken place between Racing 92 and La Rochelle. As long as, hopefully, fingers crossed, they show it here in New Zealand. And thanks live drop us a message if you're interested in the interview. I will keep it in mind as well. But yeah, hopefully, keep at your beer. That was a weird sentence, but hopefully, keep up your consistency because it seems like you are doing a lot. Thanks for the commentary and the fun. Says Yvette there. Right, I guess. Yeah, anyone of us do, be sure to leave a like and good luck to Leinster. Here's Yvette. Nonetheless, be sure to leave a like, subscribe. I'm going to go buy some insects. No, that's a lie. Maybe. There is still one in my cart. I'm going to send Romania some insects for Sebastian, and he is going to have to eat them. Could be a fun one. All right, but nonetheless, thank you all very much, and I will see you all for the next one.